Hello guys, you're welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be showing you how to create pivot tables and pivot charts. Okay, so this is patch and posse table. Okay, so we can come over here and we see the columns that are in this table. So we have the ID, we have the account ID. So let's just unwrap this column so we can see clearly. So let's just have a view of it. So account ID, this is account ID column. We have the occurred as. So let's just widen it so we can have a view of it. Okay, so this is the occurred at the time over here and the date. Okay, so we have all the columns over here. So we come over here where we have the sheet one. So we have rename it as patch and posse. So what we're going to do now, we're going to create a pivot table from this table. So what you're going to do is just go to your insert tab. So once you do a click on your insert tab, you come over where we have this command under the tables group over here. So you can see the pivot tables. So just click on the pivot tables and we see from table and range, and we have from external data source. So we want to choose from this table and range. So from this table, I want to create this pivot table, and then this one is from external data sources, which is not from here. So external data source. So I want to create pivot table from this table. So we just click on from this table. So this window pops up. We can see we have select a table or range. So this is the tables to range, which is a patch and posse, and then choose where you want the pivot table to be placed. So you can see options here: new worksheet, existing worksheet. So you want to create a pivot table from this worksheet where we have, which is a patch and posse, or you want to create a new worksheet. So you just click. You want to create a pivot table from a new worksheet. So we just click on OK. Okay, so this is the pivot tables environment. So on the right hand side, we have the pivot table field. So you can see the field over here. So, and we also have the field list over here. So you can just choose the list you want to. And then we're going to put where we have the columns. We're going to select the field here. And then we put inside the filters, the rows, and the value section. So we'll come to that later on. So we want to name this sheet as patch and we want to name this sheet as pivot tables. Okay, so once you rename it, you just click enter. So this sheet is now called pivot table. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to so this is our report view, pivot table report view, where you see your pivot tables. Okay, and this is the pivot table list. So we're going to drag a list here. We're going to drag a list here and then put in this field. Okay, so in the column section here, we're going to drag the occurred at. We want the year to be on the column section. So let's just search for occurred at. Okay, so look at occurred at here. So you just click on it and then drag it to where you have the column section, and then you drop it there. So you can see once you drop it, the occurred at column, you can see it on this report view. Okay, so we have the years, the 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to drag this field in this column. We are going to drag this list into this filter. So we'll choose the salesperson name for the filter. So you can see salesperson name. So just click on it and drag it to where we have the filters. Okay, so you can see the filter over here called salesperson name. So once you click on it, you see you have a view of all the salesperson name in this table. Okay, so you want to have a view of all of them. You just select multiple items. Just once you select, all of them is being selected. Okay, and then you click OK. So for now, let's keep it here. So now let's get to the value section. So in the value section, we are going to put the total amount USD, total amount USD. So let's just look for total amount USD. So just click on it and then drag it to the value section and drop it there. Okay, so the next thing is the row section. In the row section, we're going to use the region name. So let's just look for the region name. Okay, so see the region name here. So you just drag the region name to where you have the row section. Okay, so you can now have a view of a pivot tables over here. We can see column 2013, the year, and then we can see the Midwest region, and we can see the sum of total amount USD. You can see the sum of total amount USD for Midwest region in 2014. Okay, so what we're going to do next after creating your pivot tables is you want to have a view of your pivot chart. So you come over here in the pivot table analyze tab. You see the pivot chart under the tools group. So you just click on a pivot chart now, and then this pops up, and then you'll see different charts you want to use. You can see the column chart, the line chart, the pie chart, the bar, and different map, tree map, histogram. So you choose the one that best fits for your analysis. Okay. So for this session, for this class session, we'll be using cluster column. So you can see different kind of cluster column over here. You can choose which one best fits for you. But for this session, we'll be using cluster column. So once you select it, you just click on OK. And then we have a pivot chart over here. So let's just drag this field. Okay, so let's just place it over here and then expand it a bit so we can have a view of a pivot chart clearly. Okay, so this is a pivot chart. So whatever changes you make here, whatever changes you make here in the pivot table will affect the pivot chart. Okay, so let's just come down to where we have our chart. So let's have a view of our chart. Okay, so we're looking for the years. You can see we have 2013 and it's only 1 year, but in our pivot table we have up to 2017. Okay, so it is because we have here the quarter and the month that is showing up. So we want to have a view of only the years. So we are going to remove the quarter and the month. So to do that, you come to your pivot chart field, and then you can have a view of the record art here. The record art, we're looking for the years only. So what you do, you unmark the quarter, you unmark the month. So we are left with only the year. So we can now see if we can now have a complete year over year from 2013 to 2017. Okay, so let's go on now. Now you can see from our charts here that the northeast region makes the highest sales in 2016. Okay, and they made a sale of over 4 million. Okay, you can see over here the next is the west region and followed by the southeast region in 2016. Okay, and the midwest region made the least sales. You can see it over here, the Midwest region. So from this pivot table, you can choose to have a view of anything based on your conditions that you set. So if you want to have a view of only the Midwest region, you don't want to you want to focus on Midwest region. So what you need to use this filter over here. Just click on the filter and you'll see the drop down over there. Then you'll see the list of the region name. So you're interested in the Midwest region, so you just unmark the Northeast. Let's unmark the Southeast, the West. So we're left with only the Midwest region. Just click on OK. So now we have a view of the Midwest region. Okay, so you can better analyze and explain your values over here. So if you want to focus on the Midwest or you want to compare the sales between the Midwest region and the Northeast region, you can select two of them and you can have a view of them over here. Okay, so let's just go back to where it was. We just select all of them and then we display. Okay, so you can do same for, you have a filter over here. You can do same for salesperson name. You just click on the filter over there and then you can choose to view for all the software and just click OK. Salesperson name, can choose, and then you come over, you can filter for years. You choose which year you want to focus on. Let's say you want to focus on 2015 only. So let's just click on only 2015. You'll see the result for only 2015. You can see in 2015 the Northeast region made the highest sales. Okay, so you can just play around with this and keep trying different filters, and then you get to understand it better. Okay, so let's just keep it in all. Okay, so let's just get on to our pivot table. I want to sort these pivot tables. We want to see the region that made the highest sales. So you just come here and just click on these cells. The first cells over here where we have the sum of total amount USD in 2013. You can see the cell over here. So you right click and you search for sorts. So you just click on sorts, and then you want to sort from largest to smallest. So you can see that once you click on largest to smallest, we can now have a view of the total sum of the total amount USD for Southeast region. We can see is about 126,098.59 in 2013. So you want to see the region that makes the highest sales. You come over to in 2014. You come over, you bring the your cursor to where we have the first sales here in 2014. So you just click on it and do the same. Just right click and then you sort and you want to see from largest to smallest. So once you do that, you can see that the Southeast region also makes the highest sales about 133, okay, about 1,330,049.39. So we do same for 2015. Sort from largest to smallest. So we can see in 2015, Northeast region made the highest sales of about 2,344,588.19. So you can do same for others and keep working around with this. You get to understand it better. Okay, so we have come to the end of our pivot tables and pivot charts. See you in the next video.